Flow. Flow can be seen and described as an expression of what you currently know how to do. There is a match and symmetry between your skill set and the challenge that is in front of you. This diagram of the flow channel captures where and how you can reach a flow state. As you can see from the diagram, there is a flow channel running through the middle diagonal. This is what is also called the Goldilocks effect. Not too hot, not too cold, the one that is just right. At point 1 on the diagram, you'll become anxious if the challenge is too high and your skills are too low. Inversely, at point 2 on the diagram, you'll become bored if your skills are too high but the challenge is too low. You want to get yourself to point 3, which is the sweet spot where your skills are matched to the environment you are in. Being in flow is the ideal state to be in during matches and situations of high stakes. This is where you can express your current skill set to its maximum and become removed from the winning and losing. You can get lost in the moments and you can begin to lose a sense of time. You need to be slightly outside of your comfort zone to get the most out of yourself and to access the flow state. Studies are showing that if you can expose yourself to roughly 4% above your skill set, this is the sweet spot between boredom and anxiety. The golfer, Jack Nicklaus, once said, "The tougher and closer the competition, the more I enjoy golf. Winning by easy margins may offer other kinds of satisfaction, but it's not nearly as enjoyable as battling it out shot by shot, right down to the wire." End quote. Specific parts of the brain are activated when in flow and other parts of the brain decrease in activity. When in flow, the activity in the frontal lobe decreases, and this then means that the volume of inner chatter is turned down. This in turn minimizes chatter about the past or the future. What remains is the present and the task you are focused on. Your autonomic nervous system is split into 2 parts. Your sympathetic nervous system, fight, flight, or freeze responses, and the parasympathetic nervous system, rest, digest. Usually, one system is less active while the other is more active. But while you are in flow, your brain activates both parts of these systems in your body at the same time. This allows you to be calm while you are active, intense but not distracted. The activation of the 2 systems releases several chemicals that enhance performance, reduces pain, and induces pleasure and euphoria. When interviewed, athletes say they are calm and focused on the task at hand. There is not incessant attention to the score or negative eventualities. Flow is a blissful place where the body and mind can become one. There becomes a greater sense of where the next shot should be played or the next movement should be executed. Next, I'll share some direct quotes from athletes who have performed on the highest stages and accessed flow when it really mattered. Think about some of the words and phrases they use and look out for the common ones that keep popping up time and again. Steph Curry, basketball player. "The game is slow. It just feels so comfortable, smooth, natural. It's the confidence that when I'm out there on the floor, only good things are going to happen. Any move I want to make happens. I'll miss shots, but there is a flow to everything that I do. It's cool. I'm on cloud 9. Tiger Woods, golfer. "I tend to have these blackout moments where I don't remember. I know I was there, but I don't remember actually performing the golf shot. I'd get so entranced in the moment, my subconscious takes over. I'm just enthralled in that moment." Simone Biles, gymnast. "I just fall back on the training and do what I've done. Because once you're up in the air, you don't have time to think about what's happening. And it all happens so quickly. It's mainly just autopilot, which I'm very thankful for. So, you just have to get into your mode, and you go. Before I do a routine, I just think confidence and how many times I have done this routine. I just try to relax and just think about it right before I go." Serena Williams, tennis player. "There is a state I like to get into. I call it my Zen state. My Zen state is just quiet time and reflective time and thinking about what I want to do on the court. I get really focused. I'm just a woman on a mission." LeBron James, basketball player. "Once you get into a zone, you feel like you're shooting a golf ball into an ocean." Rory McIlroy, golfer. "Flow is a mental thing. You're picturing good shots, visualizing the lines, and you're not getting in your own way." Annika Sorenstam, golfer. "The most important shot is the one you're going to hit now. I just try and stay in the now." What you'll find from hearing athletes talk about flow is that there are no distractions as well as no multitasking, only ultimate focus. There is often a loss of the sense of time. They are totally involved in what they are doing. In flow, there is no room for self-scrutiny. Flow is an egoless thing. There is no self-judgment or judgment of the task at hand. There is a letting go and letting things happen automatically. There is little overthinking and there is full trusting. Getting your day-to-day life in order will play a vital role in accessing the flow state when you are in the sporting context. Most of our lives can be used and seen as a practice canvas for working on parts of our brain to then use and transfer into our sporting endeavors. And equally so, the reverse of this. Attempting to access flow in sports can spill back positively into our normal lives. I would encourage you to try and use life and sport and all the highs and lows it brings as your practice arena, as your training ground, as your ultimate test to finding your flow. Over or under arousal. Yerkes and Dodson in 1908 came out with a very simplistic inverted U theory for optimal sports performance. The premise of the theory is that at low levels of arousal, performance will be below par. The athlete is not psyched up. As arousal increases, so does performance, up to an optimal point. After this point, further increases in arousal lead to a decline in performance. Each athlete has their own optimal level of arousal. Optimal arousal is higher for more simple tasks, i.e. weightlifting or tackling in rugby or football, and lower for more complex tasks, i.e. putting in golf or snooker shots. An increase in arousal causes improvement in performance up to an optimal point, moderate arousal level. After this point, increased arousal leads to deterioration in performance. It is a constant work in progress to find this balance, the peak of the inverted U, your own personal sweet spot, and this is a never-ending quest. You need to continually recalibrate at different times and in different situations. You need to have high levels of awareness to know if you are over or under aroused, as well as how to energize or calm yourself. And all this needs to be embraced with a willing, non-judgmental, and motivated mind. This is the real winning and losing, and the essence of the journey you are on. The author of the incredible book, The Inner Game of Tennis, Timothy Galway, says it best. It is the moment-by-moment effort to let go and stay centered in the here and now which offers the real winning and losing, and this game never ends. End quote. He goes on to also reflect and give advice for the type of mindset to try and get into before and during a match. He says, "Today I play every point to win. I don't worry about winning or losing the overall match, but whether I'm making the maximum effort during every point, because this is where the true value lies." End quote. In summary, getting into your flow state will be highly personal to you as an individual. The key thing to use as your benchmark is to match your skills to the challenge. The sweet spot is where your skills are high and the challenges also match this. You can tweak this to your needs depending on if one or the other is too high or low and there is a mismatch. Your mind needs to be calm, clear, and void of chatter and overthinking when wanting to step into a flow state. This is how you should try and approach matches and situations where you want to access flow. Being mindful and present in these moments, as well as having fun and not taking everything too seriously, will positively contribute to you accessing flow. Remember, flow is egoless and timeless. A final comment to make is that when you think you are in flow, you are not. You have gone to a flow reflection phase. Reflection is one step forward out of your flow. There are the 3 M's to finding flow and can be done and used and adapted to you personally in pre-match situations if you are feeling anxious or bored. This gives you the chance to operate in your flow channel. The 3 M's are music, movement, mindfulness. Next time before you compete, use the 3 M's model when preparing and warming up, and you may just find flow will be right around the next corner. Finally, once you are fully prepared in the lead up to the match or event, learn to let go. Learn to get out of your own way. Learn and accept that the outcome is something you have very little, if no, control over. Enjoy and embrace this feeling of letting go and trying to access flow. It is a powerful and wonderful state.